My beloved child, stop for a moment and breathe this in, because what I am about to reveal to you has been sealed in the heavens for a long time. This is not just another message. This is not just another day. And this is not a coincidence. On April 17th, a door is opening for you today that many people will never even notice exists. And Archangel Michael says the timing of this message is not random. Open now and see what is being aligned for you. Yes, you heard that correctly. There is a door. It is real. It is spiritual. And it is personal. Most people will walk past it. They will scroll past it. They will ignore the shift in the atmosphere. But you were led here for a reason. The fact that you are hearing this right now is the first confirmation that something has already started moving in your favor. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over divine transitions. When heaven prepares to shift someone into a new level, he is often sent ahead to clear resistance, to guard timing, and to protect destiny. And today his presence is not symbolic. It is strategic. April 17th carries a divine alignment. Not because of superstition, not because of human calendars, but because of a spiritual sequence that has reached completion. What was delayed is now being released. What was hidden is now being revealed. What was blocked is now being unlocked. But here is the part that may shock you. This door does not look like opportunity at first. It may look like a conversation. It may look like an idea that suddenly feels urgent. It may look like a person re-entering your life. It may even look like a disruption. That is why many will miss it. The enemy of destiny is not always destruction. Sometimes it is distraction. And the reason this message is finding you now is because Archangel Michael is alerting you. Pay attention. The alignment has begun. You have been in a season of quiet preparation. Even when you felt forgotten, you were being positioned. Even when doors seemed closed, unseen hands were rearranging outcomes behind the scenes. There were delays that frustrated you. There were moments you almost gave up. There were nights you questioned whether anything was changing at all. But heaven was not silent. It was strategic. April 17th marks a turning point because something you prayed for is intersecting with divine timing. And when prayer meets timing, acceleration happens. Listen carefully. The door opening today is connected to your living space, your environment, your foundation. Not just a physical house, but the structure of your life. Stability. Security. Direction. Archangel Michael is guarding your foundation because what is coming next requires strength beneath you. You cannot walk into expansion if your base is unstable. So before elevation comes alignment. That is why things around you may have felt unsettled recently. Certain relationships shifting. Certain patterns breaking. Certain comforts fading. It was not loss. It was clearing. The door opening now has 3 layers. First, recognition. You will recognize something others overlook. A subtle chance. A hidden pathway. A new perspective. Second, repositioning. You will be nudged to move differently. To respond instead of react. To step instead of hesitate. Veered release. Something that has held you back emotionally will finally loosen its grip. And here is the mystery. This door responds to awareness. It does not force itself open. It reveals itself to those who are spiritually awake. Archangel Michael is not here to create fear. He is here to create clarity. The timing of this message is precise because hesitation could cause you to miss the window. Not permanently, but significantly. There are divine windows that open quietly. No loud announcement. No dramatic sign. Just a subtle shift that only the prepared will sense. and you are being prepared right now. If your heart feels stirred, that is confirmation. If something inside you feels alert, that is confirmation. If you almost clicked away but stayed, that is confirmation. You are not here by accident. April 17th is not about luck. It is about alignment. There is something being arranged that connects to your future security. A financial redirection. A relocation possibility. A partnership realignment. A spiritual assignment. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of this transition, sword raised not in aggression, but in protection. What is being aligned for you must be guarded from interference. That is why clarity is coming before manifestation. Because when you recognize the door, you must choose to step. And here is what makes this powerful. The door opening for you was once closed because you were not ready. But now you are different. Wiser. Stronger. More discerning. The struggles you endured were not punishment. They were preparation. Something that once intimidated you will now invite you. Something that once confused you will now make sense. Something that once felt impossible will now feel inevitable. This is the shift. But do not rush. Doors that are divinely open do not require force. They require faith. Today, watch carefully. Notice unusual confirmations. Notice repeated sign. Notice sudden clarity. The door will not shout. It will whisper. And those who are sensitive to the whisper will walk into a season others will never understand. Archangel Michael says this: the timing is not random. The alignment is intentional. The door is real. What you do next matters. This is only the beginning of what is being revealed to you. Chosen one, lean in closer because what unfolds next will explain why the pressure around you increased before this date arrived. Nothing intensified by accident. The resistance you felt was a signal that movement was near. Whenever a divine door prepares to open, opposition tries to create doubt. A doubt was not proof of failure. It was proof that something valuable was ahead. April 17th is not just about opportunity. It is about perception. Two people can stand in the same room and only one will see the entrance. Two people can hear the same conversation and only one will recognize destiny speaking through it. The difference is spiritual awareness. Archangel Michael has been watching the patterns around you. He has seen the cycles that kept repeating. He has seen the delays that tested your patience. But he has also seen your growth. You no longer react the way you used to. You no longer chase what drains you. You no longer beg for what dishonors you. The change within you is what qualified you for this new alignment. There is a reason this message reached you now. Timing in the spiritual realm is precise. If you had heard this 6 months ago, you might have misunderstood it. If you heard it 1 month from now, you might have already missed a crucial moment of clarity. But today, your spirit is alert enough to recognize what is happening. The door opening is subtle but powerful. It may appear as an idea that refuses to leave your mind. It may appear as an invitation that feels slightly uncomfortable but deeply right. It may even appear as a decision you have been postponing that suddenly feels urgent. Do not ignore the internal shift. Archangel Michael does not push you into chaos. He positions you into clarity. And clarity often feels like courage rising inside your chest. But courage is not random emotion. It is reinforcement from the unseen realm. You might notice conversations changing tone. You might notice people revealing their true intentions more clearly. Pay attention to that. When a door opens, masks fall. Alignment exposes what no longer fits your next season. There is also something important you must understand. Not everyone around you will perceive this shift. Some will continue operating in old patterns. Some will dismiss your excitement. Some may even question your choices. But this door was not designed for them. It was designed for you. Archangel Michael stands guard over transitions that carry long-term impact. This is not a temporary blessing. This is structural. It affects your foundation. It affects your stability. It affects your direction. You have asked for change. You have prayed for expansion. But expansion requires movement. And movement requires trust. There may be a moment today where you hesitate. A small voice may whisper, "What if this is nothing?" That voice is fear trying to remain comfortable. But comfort has kept you in limitation before. Growth feels different. Growth feels uncertain for a moment, then empowering. Let me say this clearly. The door opening today will not scream for your attention. It will test your discernment. And here is something that may surprise you. The opportunity connected to this door might look smaller than what you imagined. But small beginnings often carry hidden acceleration. What seems minor can become monumental once you step through it. Archangel Michael is not only protecting the door, he is protecting your confidence. The battles you fought privately were building resilience. The silent tears you cried were strengthening your spirit. The disappointments that almost broke you were reshaping your expectations. Now you are ready to see differently. You not measure this opportunity by past experiences. This is not a repeat. This is a redirection. Something that once felt closed off will feel accessible. Something that once felt distant will feel within reach. The energy around you is shifting because heaven has authorized movement. If this message resonates deeply, if you feel something stirring inside you, take a moment right now to like this video so this alignment can reach others who need confirmation. Share it with someone who had been waiting for a sign. Comment what you are expecting to shift in your life. And make sure you are subscribed to this channel because messages like this are not random uploads, they are timed releases. When you engage, you amplify the reach of divine reminders. Hype this space with your faith because the right souls are being gathered at the right time. There is more unfolding than you can currently see. The next layer of this revelation will connect even deeper into what is being aligned behind the scenes. Hold your focus, because what is coming will bring even greater clarity. Faithful one, what I am about to reveal may feel deeply personal, because this is where the unseen alignment begins to touch your reality. The door that is opening on April 17th is not only about opportunity, it is about restoration of authority. Somewhere along your journey, you began to shrink your expectations. You adjusted your dreams to match disappointments. You lowered your voice in rooms where you once felt bold. But this date carries a reversal. Archangel Michael is not just announcing an opening. He is restoring your spiritual posture. There was a season when you questioned your discernment. You trusted too quickly or doubted too deeply. You opened doors that drained you and closed doors that could have helped you. But wisdom has been forming inside you through experience. What once confused you now strengthens you. What once wounded you now instructs you. April 17th is a correction point. The door opening now is aligned with your matured awareness. It connects to something you once desired but could not sustain at that time. That is why it did not work before. Not because it was wrong, but because you were still becoming. Archangel Michael says the timing is not random because your internal growth has reached a measurable level in the spirit. Heaven does not release new territory to unprepared hands. You have been trained through silence. You have been refined through waiting. You have been strengthened through private battles no one else understood. And now, something is unlocking. There is a specific energy shift around your environment. You may feel more reflective. You may feel less tolerant of distractions. You may feel a subtle urgency to organize, clean, rearrange, or rethink your space. This is not coincidence. When a new door opens, your foundation adjusts to support it. Your living space symbolizes your internal structure. If clutter is leaving your physical environment, confusion is leaving your spiritual environment. If you feel drawn to change something in your home, it mirrors a deeper shift within you. Archangel Michael is guarding your territory. Not just a house of walls, but a house of identity. Who you are is being recalibrated. The door that many people will never notice exists is connected to responsibility. And responsibility is often disguised as inconvenience at first. That is why some will overlook it. They will not want the discipline required. They will not want the growth demanded. But you have already endured discipline through hardship. You are no stranger to growth. There is also something else happening. A person connected to your next chapter may already be orbiting your life. You may not recognize their significance yet. It could be someone you underestimated. It could be someone who once seemed irrelevant. But alignment rearranges relationships. Watch carefully who begins to show consistency. Watch who brings clarity instead of confusion. Watch who respects your boundaries instead of testing them. Archangel Michael stands between you and hidden harm. If someone exits your life during this season, do not panic. Protection sometimes looks like removal. What leaves now is not meant to cross into what is opening. You may also experience heightened intuition, sudden realizations, dreams that feel vivid, thoughts that come with unusual clarity. These are indicators that your spiritual senses are sharpening. Do not dismiss them. April 17th is not loud. It is precise. The door opening may require one courageous step. A message sent. An application completed. A decision finalized. A conversation initiated. It will not be overwhelming. It will be specific. And here is the powerful truth. You are not chasing this door. It is responding to you. The work you did in silence is speaking for you now. The integrity you maintained when no one applauded you is advocating for you now. The faith you held when results were invisible is opening space for you now. Archangel Michael says this alignment carries longevity. It is not temporary relief. It is structural shift. Something that once felt unstable will begin to stabilize. Something that once felt uncertain will begin to solidify. But you must participate. Alignment requires agreement. When the opportunity appears, do not shrink. Do not overthink yourself into paralysis. Trust the growth that has formed inside you. If your spirit is resonating right now, if you sense that this message is pinpointing your exact season, then seal this moment. Type "I step through the door" in the comments if this is speaking directly to you. Lesson code 417 has just been released over your path. As you declare it, you are activating agreement with what is being aligned. Now hear this carefully. When you respond in faith, you are not only affirming your own breakthrough, you are strengthening this channel to reach others who are standing at invisible doors of their own. This message is more than information. It is like being sent into hidden corners. When you sow into light, you multiply revelation. If this word has awakened something in you, do not hesitate. Release your super thanks as a prophetic seed into this mission. Join the membership and stand as a pillar in spreading these divine alerts. If your spirit is moved deeply, the PayPal donation link is waiting in the description as an altar of agreement. This is not about supporting a platform. This is about opening doors for souls who feel unseen. The Lord says, as you open your hand, I will open windows over you. This is not symbolic. It is living promise. When you give in to what carries my voice, you participate in the harvest of transformed lives. I'm calling you into action now. Do not scroll past obedience. So into this moment, strengthen the flow, and watch how heaven strengthens you in return. Brave soul, something deeper is unfolding beneath the surface, and this is where discernment becomes your greatest advantage. The door that opened on April 17th is not just an entrance into opportunity, it is an entrance into visibility. For a long time, you operated in hidden mode. Your efforts went unnoticed. Your loyalty went unrecognized. Your sacrifices were misunderstood. But what is shifting now will quietly bring you into a new level of acknowledgement. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your steps forward, he is guarding your name. Reputation, influence, and credibility are part of this alignment. You may not have realized it, but your character has been tested repeatedly. Not to break you, but to verify you. There were moments when you could have chosen shortcuts. Moments when you could have responded with bitterness. Moments when you could have compromised your values to gain temporary relief. What you did not. Even when you struggled internally, you held your integrity externally. A decision is echoing now in the unseen realm. The door opening is connected to trust. Someone is about to trust you with more responsibility. Someone is about to see potential in you that you have not fully seen in yourself. But this increase will not come through force. It will come through recognition. Recognition is powerful because it validates preparation. You may begin to notice subtle shifts in how people speak to you. A tone of respect replacing a tone of doubt. An openness replacing resistance. These are signs that your positioning is changing. Do not dismiss them. However, visibility also requires caution. When light increases, shadows become more noticeable. Not everyone will celebrate your elevation. Not everyone will understand your growth. Some may attempt to reintroduce old narratives about you. Some may try to remind you of past mistakes. But Archangel Michael stands between you and sabotage. This is why spiritual awareness must remain sharp. The door that many will never notice exists is not dramatic. It is dignified. It does not demand applause. It commands alignment. When you step through it, your decisions will begin to carry weight. Your words will influence outcomes. Your presence will shift atmospheres. That is not ego. That is assignment. You were not created to remain small, but you were refined before being revealed. There is also a financial thread connected to this shift. It may not explode overnight, but it will stabilize gradually. The door opening includes resource flow, opportunities to increase income, ideas that can multiply, partnerships that enhance sustainability. Pay attention to creative thoughts that surface unexpectedly. They are not random sparks. They are strategic downloads. Archangel Michael often clears mental fog before material increase. If you feel your thinking becoming sharper, that is part of the alignment. If confusion that once lingered is suddenly dissolving, that is protection at work. You may also experience a sudden desire to set boundaries, to say no without guilt, to withdraw from draining environments. This is not isolation. It is refinement. The door opening requires energy conservation. You cannot carry old weights into new rooms. Let me speak clearly. If something feels heavy and misaligned, release it now. If a pattern feels repetitive and unproductive, break it now. April 17th was not a random date. It marked a separation between what was tolerated and what will now be transformed. Archangel Michael is signaling advancement, but advancement requires discipline. Show up on time. Follow through on commitments. Organize what you have been neglecting. These small actions align you with larger outcomes. There is also a relational shift coming. A connection that once felt uncertain may begin to clarify. Either it strengthens through honesty, or it feeds through truth. Both outcomes are protection. You are entering a season where clarity will replace guessing, where discernment will replace confusion, where courage will replace hesitation. But do not mistake clarity for comfort. Growth often stretches you before it settles you. The next phase of this alignment will challenge how you see yourself. You may be offered something that feels slightly bigger than your confidence. That is intentional. Expansion stretches identity. Archangel Michael whispers this: do not shrink to fit old rooms. The door that opened is leading somewhere specific, and each step forward will reveal the next layer. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are aligned. The process unfolding now is deliberate. Stay attentive. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. Because what is being constructed around you is stronger than what once confined you. And what is coming next will confirm that even more clearly. Steady heart. There is something you must understand about divine doors. Once they open, they begin testing your willingness to walk differently. April 17th was not only about access. It was about transformation. Because access without transformation leads back to old cycles. But you are not being led back. You are being led forward. Since that shift began, you may have felt an internal stirring that is difficult to explain. It feels like anticipation mixed with responsibility. It feels like excitement mixed with caution. That mixture is not confusion. It is awareness adjusting to new territory. Archangel Michael is emphasizing discipline in this hour. Not harsh discipline, but focused intention. The door that has opened will not drag you through. It invites you to step with clarity. This is where your habits begin to matter more than ever. Pay attention to your mornings. Pay attention to how you begin your day. The first thoughts you entertain are shaping the direction of your movement. If you wake up with doubt, redirect it. If you wake up with heaviness, confront it with gratitude. Small shifts in routine will amplify large shifts in outcome. The alignment taking place is not chaotic. It is structured. Something is being built around you piece by piece. You may not see the entire blueprint yet, but you can feel the foundation stabilizing. Conversations feel more intentional. Decisions feel more significant. Even delays feel purposeful instead of frustrating. There is also a purification happening within your circle. Certain connections may become quieter. Certain invitations may decrease. This is not rejection. It is refinement. You cannot carry every relationship into a new dimension of responsibility. Archangel Michael stands watch over your associations. If someone begins to distance themselves, let them. If someone suddenly questions your direction, do not over-explain. Your clarity does not require universal agreement. At the same time, new energy may begin approaching you. New conversations, new collaborations, new insights shared by unexpected voices. Do not dismiss unfamiliar doors simply because they are unfamiliar. Discernment is not suspicion. It is awareness guided by peace. There is something powerful happening within your confidence. It is becoming quieter but stronger. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself loudly. You feel grounded. That grounded strength is evidence of maturity. The door that opened is connected to long-term positioning. This is not a temporary emotional high. This is steady progress. And steady progress often feels subtle before it becomes undeniable. You may notice that your tolerance for negativity has decreased. What once entertained you now exhausts you. What once distracted you now irritates you. This is growth. Your spirit is adjusting to a higher frequency of focus. Here is also a financial awareness increasing. You may begin thinking more strategically about saving, investing, building, or planning. These thoughts are not random. They are part of stabilization. The door opening carries resource alignment, but stewardship determines sustainability. Archangel Michael is not only protecting your opportunities, he is protecting your discipline. Be mindful of procrastination in this season. Small delays can create unnecessary detours. When you feel prompted to complete something productive, act on it. Momentum is forming, and momentum thrives on consistency. You may also experience moments of reflection about your past, not in regret, but in understanding. You are beginning to see why certain doors had to close before this one could open. You are beginning to understand that rejection was redirection. Delay was preparation. Silence was strategy. This awareness will free you from resentment, and freedom from resentment clears emotional space for new blessings. Do not rush the process. Just because the door has opened does not mean everything must happen immediately. Timing within timing still exists. There will be stages. There will be confirmations. There will be gradual unfolding. Trust the pace. Archangel Michael whispers strength into your decisions. If something feels aligned and peaceful, move toward it. If something feels pressured and chaotic, pause. Peace is your compass now. There is a breakthrough forming that will not only affect you but also those connected to you. Your stability will influence others. Your clarity will inspire others. Your growth will create ripple effects beyond what you currently see. You are stepping into leadership in some form. It may not look traditional. It may not carry a title yet. But influence is increasing. And with influence comes responsibility. Guard your words. Speak life over your direction. Avoid self-sabotaging language. What you declare repeatedly begins shaping your reality. The shift that began on April 17th is still unfolding. Each day adds another layer. Each decision reinforces the alignment. Stay alert. Stay disciplined. Stay humble. Because what is being constructed now will support a future version of you that once felt impossible. And what is about to be revealed next will challenge you to trust even deeper. Warrior of light. This is where the testing intensifies, not to discourage you, but to confirm you. Whenever a divine door opens, there is a period where your consistency is examined. Not by punishment, but by principle. April 17th initiated access, but what you do after access determines acceleration. You may have already noticed subtle challenges appearing. Small frustrations, minor misunderstandings, slight delays. These are not signs that the door has closed. They are indicators that you are walking through it. Resistance often increases when movement begins. Archangel Michael is very clear in this hour. Do not interpret opposition as cancellation. Interpret it as confirmation. There is a refining happening in your patience. You are being trained to respond with calm instead of impulse. The old version of you may have reacted emotionally. The old version of you may have over-explained, over-defended, or over-pursued. But now, there is a steadiness forming within you. That steadiness is strength. The door that opened is leading you into environments where emotional maturity will matter. You cannot carry reactive habits into elevated spaces. So small triggers may surface now, not to trap you, but to expose what still needs adjusting. Pay attention to moments where you feel misunderstood. Instead of fighting to correct every perception, choose discernment. Not every misunderstanding requires confrontation. Some require silence. Silence is not weakness. It is control. There is also a shift happening in your time management. You may feel a stronger urgency to use your hours wisely. Distractions that once consumed you may begin to lose their appeal. That is alignment sharpening your focus. Archangel Michael guards momentum. When you begin moving forward, distractions often appear disguised as harmless detours. Be mindful of sudden invitations that drain your energy. Be cautious of patterns that attempt to pull you back into comfort zones that no longer serve you. You are building something now, even if you cannot see the full structure yet. And building requires attention. There may also be a test connected to trust. Someone could present an opportunity that sounds appealing but lacks clarity. Do not rush. The door that opened for you does not require desperation. It aligns with peace. If something feels forced, step back. Your discernment has increased for a reason. You might also experience a sudden wave of self-doubt. Thoughts like, am I truly ready? Or what if I fail? These thoughts are natural during transition. But remember this, readiness is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move with faith despite it. Archangel Michael whispers courage into your hesitation. He does not remove every uncertainty. He strengthens you within it. The alignment unfolding is not fragile. It is stable. But your participation strengthens its impact. Show up consistently. Follow through on small commitments. Maintain integrity even in minor details. This season is about proving to yourself that you can sustain what you prayed for. And if this message is strengthening you, if you feel clarity rising as you listen, then engage with this space right now. Like this video to affirm that you are choosing alignment over distraction. Share it with someone who is walking through their own unseen door. Comment what challenge you are overcoming in this season. And ensure you are subscribed, because these timely messages are not coincidences. They are confirmations. When you actively support this channel, you help these divine reminders reach souls who are standing at crossroads. There is something powerful about collective agreement. When faith-filled individuals gather, momentum multiplies. Now hear this carefully. You are not meant to struggle alone in this transition. Support systems may begin to reveal themselves more clearly. A mentor figure, a loyal friend, a trustworthy advisor. Pay attention to who consistently encourages growth instead of feeding fear. Archangel Michael often works through strategic relationships. Not every connection is permanent, but some are divinely appointed for specific seasons. The next layer of this alignment will stretch your courage even more. You may soon be faced with a decision that requires boldness. It will not be reckless. It will be calculated faith. Prepare your mindset now. Release comparison. Your journey is not identical to anyone else's. Release impatience. Timing is unfolding precisely. Release insecurity. Growth has already prepared you more than you realize. You are walking through the door. Do not look back with longing. Look forward with awareness. Because what is coming next will require even greater confidence in who you are becoming. Anointed soul, what is unfolding now is deeper than external movement. The door that opened on April 17th is beginning to shift something internal that cannot be reversed. You are not just stepping into opportunity. You are stepping into identity. There comes a moment in every divine transition where you must accept who you are becoming. Not who you were, not who others labeled you as, not who fear tried to convince you to remain, but who you are now, after endurance, after refinement, after silent battles. This is that moment. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your path, he is guarding your transformation. Because when identity shifts, everything connected to you begins to rearrange. You may feel a strange detachment from old versions of yourself, old reactions, old preferences, even old dreams. This is not confusion. It is evolution. Sometimes growth feels like loss before it feels like gain. You are shedding skins that once protected you but now restrict you. There may also be a sudden clarity about what you will no longer tolerate. Standards are rising within you. Boundaries are becoming firmer. You are no longer negotiating with behaviors that drain your peace. That is not pride. That is alignment. A door that opened is not compatible with insecurity. It requires ownership. You might begin noticing that your voice carries more weight. When you speak, people listen differently. When you decide, outcomes respond differently. This is not coincidence. Authority increases when self-doubt decreases. Archangel Michael is strengthening your spiritual backbone. There was a time when you sought constant reassurance. Now you are learning to trust your discernment. There was a time when you hesitated before every step. Now you move with quiet certainty. Do not minimize this shift. There is also a deeper emotional healing happening. Wounds that once triggered intense reactions may no longer sting the same way. Memories that once felt heavy may feel neutral. This is evidence that you are no longer bound to past pain. You are learning from it without living in it. And here is something important. The door opening may expose unresolved areas you did not realize were still present. Not to shame you, but to finalize your healing. Growth is not about pretending you are perfect. It is about being willing to refine. If a flaw surfaces, address it calmly. If an insecurity whispers, confront it confidently. You are not fragile. You are being fortified. There is also a leadership quality emerging in you. Even if you do not hold a formal position, influence is forming. People may begin seeking your perspective. They may trust your judgment more openly. Do not deflect this responsibility. Accept it with humility. Archangel Michael stands beside those who step into rightful authority. And rightful authority is rooted in integrity. The alignment from April 17th is now demanding consistency in your character. What you say must match what you do. What you believe must match how you act. Hypocrisy cannot cross into this next level. Authenticity is required. You may feel a growing desire to organize your goals more clearly, to write things down, to strategize instead of simply hoping. This is maturity activating. A door opened, but structure sustains what flows through it. Here is also a relational refinement intensifying. You may sense who genuinely supports your growth and who subtly competes with it. Pay attention without paranoia. Discernment is calm, not anxious. Some relationships will deepen beautifully. Conversations will become more honest. Respect will increase. But others may distance themselves quietly. Let that happen without bitterness. Not everyone is meant to witness your expansion. You are entering a season where clarity replaces confusion. But clarity can feel lonely at first. When you see truth clearly, you cannot unsee it. And that sometimes separates you from familiar comfort. Archangel Michael whispers reassurance. Solitude is not abandonment. It is preparation. The next stage of this unfolding will require bold faith. You may soon be presented with an opportunity that demands visible commitment. It will require you to publicly align with the new direction you have privately embraced. That step will solidify everything. Do not retreat now. You have come too far to shrink back into safety. The door opened because you were ready, and readiness means responsibility. The transformation happening within you is irreversible. You are not who you were months ago. You are not who you were when you first began praying for change. You are stronger, clearer, more disciplined. And what is about to unfold next will test whether you truly believe that about yourself. Stand firm, because the alignment is deepening. Radiant One, this is where the invisible becomes undeniable. The door that opened on April 17th is no longer just a subtle shift in the atmosphere. It is beginning to produce visible evidence. What was once felt internally will now start manifesting externally, and this is the stage where faith turns into testimony. Archangel Michael is emphasizing acceleration, but not chaotic speed. This is divine momentum, the kind that builds steadily and then suddenly feels unstoppable. You may notice that conversations are lining up faster. Responses are coming quicker. Delays that once lingered are resolving with surprising ease. This is not luck. It is alignment reaching maturity. There is a specific confirmation coming your way. It may arrive through a message, an approval, an invitation, or even a financial adjustment. When it happens, it will carry a sense of relief mixed with excitement. That feeling will be your signal that the door was real all along. Do not downplay it when it arrives. Many people miss their breakthrough because they expected fireworks. But divine movement often comes quietly, wrapped in simplicity. What matters is not how dramatic it looks. What matters is how deeply it stabilizes you. You may also begin to feel an increase in responsibility. Tasks may expand. Expectations may rise. But instead of feeling overwhelmed, you will feel capable. That capability is growth made visible. Archangel Michael stands at the edge of your expansion, ensuring that what enters your life now is sustainable. This is not a temporary elevation. This is a restructuring of your trajectory. However, with manifestation comes temptation. The temptation to relax too soon. The temptation to revert to old habits now that progress is visible. A temptation to assume the work is finished. It is not finished. It is unfolding. Stay disciplined in this phase. Guard your routine. Guard your focus. Guard your peace. There may also be a moment where someone who once doubted you begins to acknowledge your progress. Their tone may change. Your attitude may soften. Accept it gracefully, but do not seek validation from it. Your confidence must remain rooted internally, not externally. Another important shift is happening within your intuition. You will begin sensing outcomes before they fully materialize. You will anticipate changes before they are announced. This heightened awareness is part of the spiritual sharpening that began earlier. Trust it. Archangel Michael is also clearing hidden obstacles that you may never even see. Situations that could have delayed you are being redirected. Conversations that could have harmed your reputation are being silenced. Protection does not always announce itself, but it is active. There is also a financial thread intensifying now. Not reckless gain, but structured improvement. You may find new ideas flowing more freely. Solutions to old money-related concerns may present themselves. This is part of the stabilization promised when the door opened. But remember, stewardship determines multiplication. Handle the increase wisely. Emotionally, you may feel lighter. Not because life is perfect, but because you are no longer carrying unnecessary weight. Forgiveness may rise naturally within you. Closure may arrive without confrontation. Peace may settle where anxiety once lived. This is evidence of transformation. And if this message is confirming what you are already beginning to see, then seal this moment with agreement. Type "the door is confirmed" in the comments if you feel this shift becoming real in your life. Blessing code 888 is now activated over your expansion. As you declare it, you are aligning your voice with your manifestation. And now listen closely. As the door produces fruit in your life, you are also becoming a sign for others. Your obedience is not only about your own blessing. It is about demonstrating that alignment is possible, that faith is not wasted, that divine timing is precise. When you sow into this mission through super thanks, when you stand as a member supporting this channel, or when you release a seed through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding content. You are fueling light. You are helping this message reach someone standing in confusion, someone praying for a sign, someone on the verge of giving up. The Lord declares, "When you pour into what carries my fire, I will pour into what concerns you." This is living promise. Your generosity becomes a bridge for another soul's breakthrough. Do not hesitate in obedience. If your spirit is stirred, act now. Strengthen this flow. Empower this voice. Participate in the harvest. Because what is happening in your life is only the beginning. And the final layers of this alignment will reveal why April 17th was marked so specifically for you. Steadfast one. Now we arrive at the layer where clarity becomes commitment. The door that opened on April 17th has shown you signs. It has released confirmations. It has begun shifting your circumstances. But this stage is different. This stage asks you a direct question. Will you fully embrace what has been aligned, or will you step halfway and remain divided? Because partial obedience creates partial results. Archangel Michael is very present in this phase, not as a distant guardian, but as an active defender of your decision-making. The reason is simple. When destiny begins to materialize, hesitation becomes the final obstacle, not external resistance, not lack of opportunity, but internal uncertainty. You may feel the weight of choice more intensely now. A specific decision may be approaching. It may involve relocation, a career adjustment, a financial risk, or even redefining a key relationship. Whatever form it takes, it will require clarity over comfort. This is not about reckless leaps. It is about confident steps. The growth you have experienced in recent weeks was not random preparation. It was equipping. You were being strengthened mentally and spiritually so that when this moment arrived, you would not shrink. There may be voices around you offering conflicting advice. Some will encourage caution. Others will push urgency. But Archangel Michael is reminding you that peace is your compass. The right step will not feel chaotic. It may feel stretching, but it will carry calm assurance beneath the stretch. Pay attention to where your spirit feels settled. There is also an emotional release happening in this phase. Old disappointments may surface briefly, not to reopen wounds but to finalize healing. You may suddenly understand why certain doors never opened in the past. You may see clearly why certain people exited your life. What once felt unfair will now look protective. That realization will free you. Freedom is necessary because the next level cannot be entered with resentment. It cannot be sustained with bitterness. It requires lightness. You are also beginning to recognize your own value more clearly. Not in arrogance, but in awareness. You know what you bring to the table. You know your strengths. You know your boundaries. This confidence is not loud. It is anchored. Archangel Michael strengthens anchored confidence because it cannot be easily shaken by opinions. There may be a financial decision that tests your wisdom soon. It could involve investment, saving, or restructuring resources. Do not rush. Evaluate carefully. The door that opened carries increase, but increase must be managed strategically. Quick gains without structure can create future instability. You are not being led into instability. You are being led into sustainability. There is also a relational truth surfacing. You may see someone clearly now, without illusion. Their intentions, their consistency, their character. Do not ignore what is revealed. Clarity is a gift. Accept it, even if it challenges comfort. The door that many people will never notice exists requires courage to walk through fully. And courage often feels lonely for a moment. But loneliness in alignment is better than companionship in confusion. You are not alone, even if the path feels unique. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian not only over your external environment, but over your internal resolve. This is where identity locks into place. You are no longer asking for permission to grow. You are no longer apologizing for outgrowing environments. You are no longer shrinking to make others comfortable. That season has ended. April 17th marked access. But this moment marks ownership. Ownership of your calling. Ownership of your direction. Ownership of your standards. There may be one final hesitation lingering in your mind. A small what if trying to slow you down. Recognize it, but do not empower it. Fear loses influence when confronted with truth. And the truth is this. You are prepared. Prepared by delays. Prepared by disappointments. Prepared by silent endurance. The alignment unfolding is not fragile. It is firm. But your full commitment will accelerate its impact. In the next unfolding stage, something decisive will occur. A conversation. A confirmation. A green light. When it comes, it will require immediate clarity from you. Prepare now by strengthening your mindset. Speak confidently about your direction. Visualize success without guilt. Embrace responsibility without hesitation. Because what is coming next will not ask whether you are ready. It will assume you are. And you must respond accordingly. Determine 1. This is the moment where movement becomes visible to others. Until now, much of what has shifted since April 17th has been internal, strategic, and gradual. But the season you are stepping into will begin to show results in ways that cannot be hidden. The door that opened quietly is about to produce outcomes that speak loudly. Archangel Michael is emphasizing boldness in this phase. Not arrogance, not aggression, but an apologetic alignment. You have spent enough time questioning your readiness. Now is the time to demonstrate it. There may be a defining opportunity placed directly in front of you. It could look like a leadership role, a public platform, a new contract, a serious commitment, or a major life adjustment. Whatever form it takes, it will feel significant. And with significance comes visibility. Visibility can feel intimidating if you are not anchored. But you are no longer the version of yourself that feared being seen. You have been refined in private. You have been corrected in silence. You have been strengthened through trials no one witnessed. The private preparation now qualifies you for public progress. Archangel Michael stands as a shield over your reputation during this elevation. False narratives will not prevail. Misunderstandings will not derail what has been authorized. But you must continue operating with integrity. Integrity now is non-negotiable. This is also a season where your voice matters more than ever. Speak clearly about what you want. Speak clearly about what you will not tolerate. Speak clearly about your standards. When you communicate with confidence, doors remain open. When you communicate with fear, doors hesitate. You may notice people treating you differently. More respect, more attention, more curiosity. Do not let it inflate your ego. Let it strengthen your responsibility. There is also a financial acceleration possible in this stage. A raise, a profitable idea, a new stream of income, or a strategic partnership. But remember, increase flows toward structure. Maintain discipline in how you handle what arrives. Spend wisely. Invest carefully. Plan intentionally. The door that opened was not about short-term excitement. It was about long-term establishment. Emotionally, you may feel a deeper sense of peace even while responsibilities increase. That peace is confirmation. When alignment is true, it does not create chaos inside you. It may stretch you, but it will not fracture you. Archangel Michael is also warning against distraction disguised as opportunity. Not every open path is yours. Some are tests of discernment. If something appears subtly but conflicts with your deeper peace, pause. The right opportunity will align with your values. This is also a crucial moment to guard your circle. As visibility increases, so does attention. Not all attention is supportive. Stay close to those who have proven loyalty. Keep your plans protected until they are stable. Silence can be strategic. If this message is fueling your confidence and sharpening your clarity, take action right now. Like this video as a declaration that you are ready for visible growth. Share it with someone who is stepping into their own moment of elevation. Comment what bold step you are preparing to take. And ensure you are subscribed, because these aligned messages arrive at precise times. When you engage, you strengthen this community of faith-driven movement. Hype this space with expectation, because breakthrough multiplies when agreement increases. There is something powerful about collective readiness. When individuals rise together, momentum expands. Now hear this carefully. You are entering a defining chapter. The decisions you make in this phase will echo for years. Do not rush out of excitement. Do not freeze out of fear. Move with measured boldness. You may soon be required to make a public declaration. A commitment that signals you are fully stepping into the new direction. It might feel intimidating for a brief moment, but once you speak it, clarity will flood in. Archangel Michael whispers strength into your resolve. Do not retreat, he says. What has been aligned cannot be reversed by doubt. The door opened for you because you were prepared. The visibility now increasing is proof that you stepped through. And what unfolds next will confirm that this was never random. It was appointed. Faithful warrior, this is the threshold moment. Everything that has unfolded since April 17th has been building toward this internal confirmation. The door opened. Signs appeared. Movement began. Visibility increased. But now, something deeper settles within you. Certainty. Not loud certainty, not emotional hype, but grounded knowing. Archangel Michael is present in this phase not as a signal of battle, but as a guardian of establishment. Because what is happening now is not just opportunity, it is anchoring. The shift is no longer fragile. It is taking root. You may notice that the anxiety you once felt about the future has decreased significantly. The questions that used to loop in your mind have grown quieter. Even if every detail is not visible yet, your spirit feels steady. That steadiness is confirmation that you are standing in the right place. There is also a sense of separation happening, a final detachment from the old season. You may look back briefly and realize how much you tolerated, how much you doubted yourself, how long you remained in spaces that were too small for you. But instead of regret, you feel gratitude, because those seasons shaped your strength. This is maturity. The door that many people will never notice exists required perception, and you perceived it. You felt it. You stepped when others hesitated. That alone has shifted your trajectory. Archangel Michael is reinforcing protection around what you are building now. Not everyone needs access to your plans. Not everyone needs to understand your strategy. Privacy in this season is power. What is growing does not need constant exposure. It needs consistency. There may be a defining confirmation soon, something that removes the last trace of doubt. It could be an official approval, a finalized agreement, a clear yes where there was once uncertainty. When it arrives, it will feel calm, not chaotic, peaceful, not overwhelming. That peace will be your sign. Financially, stabilization is strengthening. You may not be at your final destination yet, but the ground beneath you feels more secure. Ideas are clear. Plans are forming. Confidence in your ability to manage resources is increasing. This is sustainable progress. Emotionally, you are no longer reacting to minor disturbances. Things that once would have unsettled you now barely move you. This emotional control is evidence of internal authority. You are not easily shaken anymore. Relationally, the picture is clearer than ever. You know who stands with you. You know who stands at a distance. And you are no longer trying to convince anyone to stay. That desperation has dissolved. Archangel Michael whispers something powerful in this moment. Stand firm. What have been established will not collapse. There may be one final challenge, not to defeat you, but to demonstrate your growth. A situation that would have triggered the old version of you may arise briefly. But this time, you will respond differently. Calmly. Wisely. Without overreaction. And in that response, you will see proof of your transformation. That proof will strengthen you more than any external validation ever could. You are stepping fully into ownership now. Ownership of your space. Ownership of your direction. Ownership of your worth. The alignment that began on April 17th is no longer just unfolding around you. It is operating through you. You may feel a growing desire to give back, to guide others, to speak from experience. That is natural. When breakthrough becomes real, it produces compassion for those still waiting. But remain grounded. Continue refining. Continue learning. Continue strengthening your structure. The final layer of this message will seal what has begun. It will not introduce something new. It will confirm what you already sense. You are not standing at a possibility anymore. You are standing in manifestation. And what comes next will mark this transition as reversible. Beloved of the Most High, this is the sealing moment. What began as a whisper on April 17th has now become a testimony within you. The door that many people would never even notice did not just appear, it responded to your readiness. And now, you are no longer searching for signs. You are standing inside fulfillment. Pause and recognize how far you have come. The uncertainty that once clouded your vision has lifted. The hesitation that once slowed your steps has weakened. The fear that once questioned your worth has lost its authority. This is not imagination. This is transformation. Archangel Michael stands at the completion of this cycle not with a warning, but with affirmation. The timing was not random. The message was not accidental. The alignment was not emotional exaggeration. It was divine orchestration. You felt the shift before you saw it. You sensed the movement before it became visible. You trusted the whisper before it became reality. As faith matured, the door that opened has now become a pathway. And this pathway is leading you into stability, influence, and deeper purpose. Not overnight fame, not reckless elevation, but grounded expansion. Here is something different about you now. You carry yourself with quiet certainty. You make decisions without over-explaining. You protect your peace without guilt. You pursue growth without apology. This is what alignment feels like. You may look around and realize that your environment reflects your evolution. Conversations are healthier. Opportunities are clear. Even challenges feel manageable. That is because you are no longer operating from survival. You are operating from structure. Archangel Michael has been guarding more than your opportunities. He has been guarding your identity. Because if identity collapses, opportunity cannot stand. But your identity has been fortified. There will still be challenges ahead. Growth never eliminates effort. But the difference now is that you are equipped. What once intimidated you will now instruct you. What once delayed you will now direct you. April 17th marked a door. Today marks ownership of the room you stepped into. And hear this clearly. This is not the end of your elevation. It is the beginning of a higher standard. You are now responsible for maintaining what has been entrusted to you. Protect your integrity. Guard your discipline. Stay humble in increase. Stay focused in visibility. Because what has been built can expand even further. There may soon be a moment where you reflect quietly and think, this is exactly what I prayed for. When that realization comes, let gratitude anchor you. Gratitude sustains what ambition begins. Archangel Michael declares this over you. What has been aligned will not be reversed. What has been established will not be easily shaken. What has been opened will not close by doubt. Receive that. If this entire journey has confirmed what your spirit already sensed, then seal it now. Type IT is established in the comments as your declaration of agreement. Blessing code 1212 is now released over your foundation. As you declare it, you are affirming that the door was real, the timing was precise, and your obedience was worth it. Now listen closely as we complete this. The door that opened for you was never meant to bless you alone. When heaven aligns one life, it creates ripple effects for many. Your testimony becomes someone else's hope. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's evidence that God still moves in precise timing. If this message carried light into your season, then this is your moment to respond prophetically. When you release a super thanks, when you become a member of this channel, or when you sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting content. You are strengthening a river of revelation. You are placing seed into fertile ground so that someone standing in darkness can see their door before they miss it. The Lord speaks this living promise. As you sow into what carries my word, I will establish what concerns you. This is not symbolic language. It is covenant reality. Right now, I invite you to say in your heart, I will be part of this mission. Let your generosity become agreement. Let your giving become obedience. Let your action unlock increase. Do not delay this response. Strengthen this altar. Fuel this voice. Stand as a pillar in spreading what heaven is releasing. Act now. Establish it.